and I think the succession is the hardest part in any family business.
I think so.
And how, besides the change model that you described, so it has the status quo, the new element, and then
chaos.
You have the chaos, and then you have new practices, so you experiment a bit. So what other tools could you offer to work with succession, or even when a family business finds itself in the middle of a crisis?
Yes.
Sometimes it's not even related to the family.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, now in Brazil,
Yes.
we have a crisis, so it's the context.
Mm-hmm.
So, what other tool would be interesting to handle such crises?
Well, my focus of attention is a lot on the more soft skills, because we usually think it's the structure that we need to create. How do we maneuver through those challenging places? What I realized is there are people managing it, and I'm in support of the people, and particularly helping them to get an upgraded, really high quality state. And I see them as high performers. I see them as athletes that really want to go for the gold medallion. And so if there is an outside challenge, what's really important is that the people who are operating in this are really keeping calm and know how to center themselves and stay in a really good calm place, even though the challenges from the outside might be intense. Satir actually brought us our attention that when we get stressed, when we get triggered, that we fall into these archetypal stress patterns. And that will inevitably happen, especially in the family business, because you have two layers. One is the outside, and then inside, it may also activate a lot of other old learnings that you made in stress situations. So I have a person in it, but I also have the outside challenge. And that will inevitably challenge people to really get more reactive rather than responding what is really needed most. I need to stay my calm. So we playfully talk about those stress patterns. I love in the Satir work that we can do a lot of things very playful and very humorous. I have a lot of humor myself, and I can laugh about all these stressful situations that I've gone through myself. So I also bring myself in as a tool, and knowing how hard it is to run a business, how many patterns you activate, and so I bring a lot of my empathy in this, which I think is important, that people know what you're experiencing. I know something of that in myself. I don't know exactly what your personal situation is, but the general situation you're going through, I've gone through that myself. So I think that's an important piece. And then we look at what stress patterns get activated and what are quick tools, and I will actually use a lot of embodiment research that gives us knowledge about how the body can be a very strong tool in activating a high quality state to get my temper again, to really get my calm back again, so that I can maneuver this big ship with so much responsibilities and so many tasks, and for that I really need myself.
So as a last question, I don't know if it's a question actually, but what would you say, or would you share with us some results or some effects that your work has had in family businesses or in businesses with which you've already worked?
Yeah. Well, the results would go to, we changed the way of communicating with each other. We changed the way of being much more open and really discussing the uncomfortable, like what is an area that we really need to improve and need to make some changes, but also what are appreciations, what's already working well. A lot of times that hasn't been discussed, and we find that all of a sudden the climate within the company changes, and that will actually lead to more performance. So that it actually, you see it in the numbers of more effectiveness. And so we changed that. We changed conducting meetings in a very simple way, but having a clean structure through the temperature reading, what works, let us do more of that. What are new information that we need to discuss? That's really crucial, so we update each other. What is a puzzle? What's not clear? What do we really need to openly talk about? What is a complaint and the recommendation that goes with it, so we can truly, honestly improve? And what are the hopes and wishes to continue this work successful in the future? Simple ingredients, but I realized if we have a structure to open the communication, if people are willing to share, they really bring themselves in with their resources. It creates a warm atmosphere, and it actually had a lot of effectiveness on the results for the company. So productivity went up because the climate, the temperature within the company changed. And that is a big one for a family business.
Yes, I guess it's a big one for any business.
I hope so.
Yes, yes.
I hope so.
So thank you a lot.
Thanks.
For your words, and to me it's really enlightening that we have to take care of the human aspect in a company.
Yes.
And that a company is not only a sum of many processes,
Yes.
that are going on. We have people who
Yes.
care about those processes, and they provide those processes the intelligence,
Yes.
the decision,
Yes.
right? So thank you very much.
Thank you too.
And I really hope you have a nice time here in Brazil.
I do. I love it very much.
Okay, so thank you, Eva.
Thank you for the conversation. Thanks.